Hi, how are you? Aquarius, how are you? What's going on? How's it going? Hope the new year's treating you well. Hope the new decade's treating you well. I've been going through a lot lately, personally, internally. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Okay, so I'm doing something new, not really new, but I'm bringing monthly readings back, maybe, hopefully. We'll see how this goes, okay? A lot of things have stopped me from doing this, but also other things have made me want to go back to it. It's a whole thing. Okay, anyways, so today, Aquarians, I'm taking care of you, all right? We're going to go over what is in store for you in the month of January of 2020, all right? So this is going to apply to Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, Tropical and Sidereal. Go to astro.com if you don't know your sidereal chart. It's okay if you don't. This is a general reading. Disclaimer, this is a general reading, okay? Not everything is going to apply to you. It's okay if it doesn't. Use your discernment, use your critical thinking, take this with a grain of salt. Nothing that I say is set in stone. This is just general energy of what I'm reading right now at this very moment, okay? All right, thank you so much. All right, so let's just go ahead and get started, I guess. All right, so what is in store for the Aquarians in January 2020? What do Aquarians need to know? What should they be expecting? What is the energy of this month? What is the energy? All right, that was quick. I'm using Modern Witch Tarot, by the way, if you're curious. We have the Nine of Swords reversed. All right, okay. So you could be thinking a lot about the future. I understand, I definitely have been. The Nine of Swords reversed, we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed, we have the Seven of Wands. The Nine of Pentacles is also in, oh wait, no it wasn't, never mind. We have the Knight of Swords reversed, we have the Page of Cups, and we have the Eight of Wands reversed. All right, so slow the fuck down, Aquarians. I think this is such, oh my god, if I'm dragged in this fucking video, I swear to God. I don't need it right now. All right, and then at the bottom of the deck, we have Justice right here. And then under here, we have the Nine of Cups reversed, the Five of Swords reversed, and the Lovers reversed. Yo, I swear to fucking God if this is... swear to fucking God. Don't need it right now. All right, so let's get into this, shall we? Okay. So we have the Nine of Swords, right? You've been overthinking, perhaps a little bit too much. Maybe you have been losing sleep. I definitely fucking have. I haven't been sleeping very well lately. Perhaps you have been losing sleep over something, over a decision, over the future, having some sort of existential crisis. I definitely have. I'm an Aquarius fucking moon, so I mean, I fucking relate. Okay, let me stop. All right, so existential crisis, overthinking, right? To the point of tears, to the point of not knowing what to do, questioning your purpose, questioning your life path. I get it. Or maybe this is something completely unrelated. Maybe this is something that has to do with work, a job, school, whatever the case might be. You're overthinking to the point of having insomnia. The Nine of Swords reverse tells me that January 2020 is not a time to be doing that. I know. It's like so much easier said than done, but like it has to be done. The Nine of Swords reverse tells me that there's nothing for you to worry about, that you are supported, that you are loved, and that everything will definitely work out in your favor, and everything is kind of in your head. Not to say that your problems aren't real, but this to me is kind of saying that you're making it worse for yourself than it needs to be. Oh my God, I'm being fucking dragged. You're making it worse for yourself, and it doesn't have to be this excruciatingly painful process. It really doesn't. We do have control as to how we manage the situation. No, we don't have control over like what happens and, you know, like a bunch of different factors. That there are a lot of things that we don't have control over, but the one thing that we do have control over is ourselves, and we can at least manage and handle things a little bit better, a little bit more properly, I guess you could say. And the Nine of Pentacles reverse tells me that this is something that we've been doing for a while. This is something that we kind of revert back to whenever things don't kind of go our way, or whenever we don't get sort of like that instant gratification. In which case, this is kind of saying that there's something that we need to do differently. We need to take on a different approach, a different mindset, because right now this isn't helping us. All right. This is kind of saying how we're close to the finish line, but we keep on kind of like self-sabotaging by going through this process of like, basically like creating our own anxiety. Again, this isn't to make light of like real situations or, you know, anything that might be painful that you're going through, but this is kind of saying how, you know, our mind is a very powerful thing, and sometimes we tend to exaggerate or make things a little bit more dramatic than they need to be. This isn't like a whole blaming, victim blaming sort of thing, but, you know, us Aquarians, whether we want to admit it or not, can be fucking dramatic sometimes. I mean, we're opposite of Leo. It's bound to happen, okay? All right. Anyone who's like, ew, I'm not like a fucking Leo, bitch. Yes, we are. We're very similar, as much as we don't want to admit it, or many of us don't want to admit it. I'm a Leo penis. I don't care. Let me stop. But yes, we tend to make things a little bit too dramatic, way more than they need to be, for ourselves. Whether other people see it or not is not the issue, but you get it. Okay, so Seven of Wands is telling me that yes, there might be some obstacles in our way, and yes, there might be some roadblocks, but at the end of the day, we will end up victorious, especially when we remain consistent in our work, when we remain diligent and determined, and when we show that we're not just going to give up whenever life throws us something like a curveball, right? This to me tells us that we are definitely going to be victorious, and that we just have to keep on pushing. Okay, we might feel like the underdog at this point, and that's fine, but insert list of movies where underdog is victorious. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm probably not even gonna do that. I don't have the time. Actually, I do have time. I'm just not fucking patient, okay? But this is what I'm basically saying. Yes, we might be the underdog. Yes, you know, there might be certain oppositions. Yes, there might be people who are trying to go against us, and because of their own jealousy or their own insecurities, or, you know, their projections, whatever the case might be, right? There might be roadblocks that we are experiencing. And, you know, they might be really frustrating. I get it, okay? But Seven of Wands is saying that we are going to be victorious as long as we are consistent and we do not give up in the face of opposition or strife. You know what I mean? The Knight of Swords, however, let's unpack this really quickly. The Knight of Swords reverse is basically saying, Aquarians, don't be so quick to dive into something that you have absolutely no plan over, okay? So this is saying you might be like very instantly passionate over something, like out of nowhere. Like maybe out of nowhere, you're like, I want to be an artist. I want to be self-employed as a work-at-home artist or whatever the fuck. And then you take on that idea for like 2 days, right? And you like bought all the supplies and whatnot. You're like, hell fucking yeah, I'm gonna do this shit. I'm gonna be an artist, like da 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 da. And then like after 2 days, you're like, I'm tired of this shit. And now like you end up with like all these supplies that you're not going to use again, and like money that you spent that you're probably not going to get back, unless like you take the time to actually return the shit. And it's like, have a plan, you know what I mean? Have an idea as to what you're going to do. This is basically saying, be careful of going into things blindly or believing something blindly with like no plan, no strategy, like no general idea as to what you're doing, just for the sake of it, just for the sake of like the adrenaline rush. I understand the need of adrenaline and like that kind of like dopamine kick, especially when you're like going through this shit. Okay, like I get it. I get it. But like also calm down. This to me is kind of reading, yes, it's good that you want to do things. It's good that you want to take action. And it's good that you want to get yourself out there. You know, you don't want to be complacent. You don't want to be just like sitting here doing nothing. But also, it's important that you allow yourself to dream a little bit, that you kind of, you know, stick to the drawing board a little bit. No pun intended, especially with that whole artist thing that I just said. No pun intended. But the Page of Cups is someone who's dreamy, someone who likes to dream. They like to idealize, they like to fantasize. And this is in your favor. Like, you want to do that. You want to kind of float a little bit and like kind of just think of different creative ideas and like not immediately shoot them down. Just allow your imagination, allow your inner child to just like float a little bit, to gain a little bit of freedom so that you can eventually come up with a really great and innovative idea that you can run with, right? This to me reads just like calm down a little bit. And the Page of Cups also talks about like an unexpected, emotionally fulfilling event happening. Anyways, my ear is ringing. So confirmation, all right? But basically, this is saying take the time to just dream a little bit, to do something that you enjoy and to like loosen up, because this to me kind of is reading as, especially for me, like I definitely relate to whatever this is whatever is here. Take the time to just not only let yourself breathe and like meditate and like journal and shit like that, but also do something that really makes you happy, something that really connects you to your inner child. So for me, for example, lately I've been really getting back into reading. When I was a kid, I would read all the time, mostly as like a means to like cope with the fact that I was lonely as fuck and like had no friends. But I really enjoy reading, and I lost the habit like all of high school, up until very recently. And so I've been reading a lot more. I've been reading, just if you're curious, you can just skip over this if you don't give a fuck. But I've been reading this, okay? This is called The Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. This is the third book to a trilogy by V.E. Schwab. I forget the first name of this book. Oh, The Darker Shade of Magic. Okay, that shit, fire. All right, the second book, A Gathering of Shadow, that shit is fire. All right, I'm on the third book. I'm like halfway done. It's amazing. I love her writing. But anyways, that has been my escape, so to speak, right? And it's been helping me not only just like cope with like my existential dread and like crisis that I'm going through, but it just alleviates a lot of the pressure that I'm putting on myself, because literally no one is putting pressure on me except for myself. And so it's helping me slow down, right? And it's helping you slow down, and it should help you slow down. This dreamy, it's not even like escapism, but it's just like that, I guess escapism, but like in the best way possible, that escaping from reality and kind of escaping the burdens that we place on ourselves, Aquarians, is very necessary for you in the month of January. And I feel that by doing that, you become a lot more receptive to creative and new ideas that will actually help you, whether it's in your career or at school or whatever project it is that you want to take on. It's that sort of thing, and you will be able to overcome all of that, okay? But it's a matter of being patient. And you can't just like try to force something to happen when it's just not meant to happen. Like, it's literally like the timing is just off. And, you know, we might get really frustrated, and we might be like, well, the universe like is not on my side, and da-da-da-da-da. Like, yo, I trust you. Like, trust me. The universe is always on our side. But we as human beings, especially in this capitalistic fucking society that we live in, do you see the news? Like, fuck. We, especially as like young people, we are trying to get everything together at such a young age, and we think that we need to be like millionaires by the age of like 21. But no. Let us not rob ourselves of our childhood, because we're still kids, dude. Like, we're still teenagers. I still think that we're a kid, but until like we're like 25. Or like at least by our Saturn returns. Anyways, It's a matter of patience, and we don't need to like rush this entire thing to like try to establish ourselves at such a young age and then like basically rob ourselves of like childhood or of living a young life, like being in our 20s, right? Living life as a 20-year-old person, or just as a young person, as a Gen Z, millennial, early millennial person. Like, let's not rob ourselves of that just to try to like establish everything. Yes, we live in a stressful world. Like, yes, we should be working towards stability, but also let's not place so much pressure and try to force something to happen when it's just not ready to happen just yet. Let yourself just relax a little bit. Just dream, read a book, read your favorite series. I've been really getting to that lately. I've been watching a lot of booktube, right? Like, it's a thing now for me. I don't know. We'll see how everything is happening. But maybe draw or write or whatever it is. I have a friend who literally is like writing poetry, and like that's her new thing now, and she loves it. So yeah. I don't know what to tell you. That's basically it. Okay, there has to be a balance to everything. The bottom of the deck is justice. Okay, so not only be fair with yourselves and others, but also just realize that like everything literally has to be in perfect alignment in order for certain things to happen. So don't try to like force it, because you only stress yourself out. And we don't want stress. We want peace. We want happiness. We want to focus on our well-beings and being healthy and just taking care of ourselves. And it's important that we do that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So that's basically it. That's all that I really have for you, Aquarians. Okay, I went on this fucking rant. But I hope that it was helpful. I hope that the advice was helpful, especially as someone who like definitely resonates with this shit. Like, I get you. We got this together, okay? We got it, brother. Brethren. We got it. It's okay. It's gonna be fine. I wish you the best of luck. Please take care of yourselves. Please drink water, take your vitamins, meds, any of that sort of stuff. That sort of thingy-mabobs. Anyways, that's it. I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is. Maybe I'll do a February monthly. We'll see. Anyways, I hope it was helpful. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up. Share with your friends, family, loved ones, or anyone who needs to hear this. Comment down below all of your feedback. Anything like that. If you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, my username is @Sinfulpluto. If you want to book up reading with me, you can do so at Sinfulpluto.com. I have a lot of new services, okay? I have a month ahead reading and a week ahead reading and other really fun stuff. And that's it, okay? Bye. Bye.